Bro, I got dizzy there. There was one blue porta potty that popped up right in the middle. But until then, it looked like just dominoes falling. Either way it goes. What you saw there was more than 1,000 Southwest Airlines pilots that were lined up in Dallas to protest the way that they're treated. That was just yesterday. So let's get to some details here, because hundreds of uniformed Southwest Airlines pilots stood in perfect lines in the scorching Texas sun at Dallas Love Field on Tuesday, holding signs that blame Southwest management for delays and cancellations that have upset passengers. I understand that, because if they're getting the pressure, might as well call out some names and talk about who's really the culprit here. So here's more, because this protest, which the union said drew up 1,300 pilots, was the latest example of airline workers trying to put pressure on companies by taking their demands for higher pay directly to the flying public. Now, these protests come amidst reports that there's an absolute nightmare of travelers and airline workers this entire summer. As we know, travel increases every summer. Let's look at some more on that.
Meantime, back here at home, in the summer travel season kicking into high gear, millions on the move, passing pre-pandemic levels now, but many describing nightmare experiences with crowded airports and thousands of flights delayed or canceled. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Tonight, the summer travel mess kicking into high gear as demand soars past pre-pandemic levels.
We're going to baggage claim right now. We checked the bags. Yeah. So we'll be there waiting longer. About like a 12-hour travel experience.
Already today, over 4,000 flights delayed or canceled nationwide. The TSA screening more than 2.4 million people in the US Friday, the most since Thanksgiving weekend.
Couple more details here, David. Casey Murray, who's the president of the Southwest Airlines Pilots Association, the union for the airline's 9,000 pilots, said workers turned into a flightmare for pilots because of overscheduling. He also said it's a struggle every day out there. Our fatigue rates reflect that. In the first 5 months of this year, Southwest pilots reported feeling fatigued at more than triple the rate of a year ago. And that's according to figures from the union, which says this raises safety concerns. Every time I think about these important situations like this, David, where you have pilots in the situation, doctors, surgeons. I remember back in high school, maybe beginning of college, I remember hearing this and I will never forget it. He said, if you go into surgery, never do it at the end of the week. I was like, that's crazy. Like, because maybe there's more chance that your surgeon has been working his ass off or her ass off the entire week and they're beat. And that's when the majority of mistakes happen, because they're half asleep. They may leave a scalpel in your chest because they're a little bit off. So if you can schedule an appointment, do it early. Now, when you're flying, who knows when the best time is now, when you got pilots that are falling asleep potentially at the wheel.
I'm just worried about those pilots who might be drunk. Look, it is a fact of the matter is that the pilots, the flight attendants, there's a staffing shortage. There's far more demand than there is staff. And in the laws of supply and demand, yeah, the pilots should be paid more and the flight attendants should be paid more. But the airlines continue to be sort of reluctant to do that. And so as a result, they're not hiring as quickly as they need to. They're not hiring the sort of staff that would support the demand. And as a result, the airlines are having to cancel a lot of flights. And maybe if they offered people more money, they would be able to get the staffing to support all these flights. But I can tell you the one lesson that I have, regardless of whether you don't have an operation on Friday, never fly through Charlotte Airport to try to switch planes when during the last flight going from Charlotte to say anywhere else, because I happened to me over the weekend and the flight was canceled and it was an absolute nightmare. And they blamed, oh yeah, it's because of staffing shortages. The weather was fine, we just don't have enough staff for your aircraft. What?
Of course. Listen, everybody's gonna have these nightmarish things. And again, who would you look to blame? You'd be jumping straight out like the airline workers and people that are there. We've seen it happen over and over and over again. But I like that they're trying to let you guys know this is where our issues come from. You guys are giving us trouble, but these guys are giving us trouble. Hey, sometimes you have to call out names.